Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, Colin Cowherd speaking out the side of his neck. Look. Colin Cowherd, as we all know, FS1 super mega giant media guy he's been in the news recently for his secret discussions on joining back ESPN. But everyone knows who Colin Cowherd is because of the platform that he has created and formed on FS1, okay? Now, when you're doing those things, you have to come up with topics. And one of the topics today were quarterbacks that were not going to be able or do not have the ability to make the Super Bowl since 2013. And he brought up somebody that had passed away. And the NFL player that he brought up was Dwayne Haskins. Okay, that's why Dwayne Haskins' name is trending. Now, Dwayne Haskins, let me keep you up to speed, is a former NFL quarterback for the Washington Commanders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he passed away when I believe it was a truck or a semi-truck hit him on the highway. Okay, that's how that goes. So I was always taught that when somebody passes away, you hold their name in reverence, simply out of respect for their memory and respect to their family. I'm going to play a clip of what Colin Cowherd said, and then we're going to dumpster dive into what I mean by having decorum and why I feel like it's a lost art in today's society. So without further ado, I'm going to play the clip, and then we're going to break it down, okay? So let's get this party started, okay? Here we go.
And then the third category is 20 guys who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not it says can win Super Bowls. It can't win Super Bowls. Okay? So 6 stars, 4 high-end starters, and 20 guys that can't win a Super Bowl.
Yo, look. And somebody had pointed it out too, even. They were saying how this list is that bad. I'm going to bring up the name. It's called Schlager on Twitter. And I'm going to read what he put, and then we're going to break it down. He put, everybody's talking about the Dwayne Haskins with this overlay, but we can also talk about how lazy and unresearched the rest of it is. Blake Bortles is retired. Paxton Lynch, E.J. Manuel, and Johnny Manziel are out of the league. Marcus Mariota, Josh Rosen, and Carson Wentz are free agents. Kenny Pickett was a rookie last year, and the overlay itself is misspelled. Dwayne Haskins is the icing on the cake. These are all QBs drafted in the first round on a simple Pro Football Reference search. So, poor researching, right? Poor setup for delivery for the segment, and classless to not correct yourself after hearing it and not putting it out and not saying my bad and mistake. I did not see. I was just reading. I really did not mean to that. Kudos and respect goes out to his family. You didn't do none of that. Look, my mom and dad used to tell me something when I was a kid. I'm Jamaican, so there used to be an old saying that says there's a time and place for everything under the sun. And when it comes to people that have passed away, there is no time under the sun where you should be speaking about them with disrespect. And what Colin Cowherd did was totally disrespect. Look, I actually kind of laugh at this a little bit simply because media in general has become so toxic that this should be a bigger story, but it's not. Everyone's talking about the Orioles guy that's now being held out. The team said that we're not want you here anymore because he told the truth. You know what I mean? The toxicity of the media is at an all-time high, and it doesn't look like it's taking any steps back to curb. And what I mean by that is they're looking for segments to argue, segments to debate. Now, look, I remember when Cold Pizza had started out. I was a big Cold Pizza guy. You guys can guess. And I remember when First Take first started. I remember getting all my friends on First Take. I was like, yo, this is the show to watch on ESPN. And because First Take was such a smash, such a hit, such a moneymaker, and it started influencing pop culture, where even like celebrities wanted to come on the show, that's when they said, well, we need more shows that are like it. Because anything that is doing well will be replicated. That's the way the world is. If you don't believe me, I'm an 80s kid. Do y'all remember Little Kim? I'm going to bring it back to hip-hop. You remember Little Kim? When Little Kim had came up and she was very, very heavily over-sexualized. And everyone's like, wow, that's kind of like in your face, right? But what happened was the record companies were saying she's selling like hotcakes. All her posters, girls want to be her, men want to be with her. Like, that was the mindset. So what happened was, because it was so successful, you started having little clones after her. The Nickies, the Cardis, the Trinas, so on and so forth. Because that's the way society works. They replicate whatever is working, even if it's toxic. And that's where a lot of this is stemming from. This has been a seed that has now grown into an oak tree. And it's not getting cut down anytime soon. Listen, Colin Cowherd is not a stupid guy. He could have literally said, oh, whoa, let me skip over that name and say somebody else's. He read it and was like, it's no big deal. That's what happened. Now, he'd come out and be like, look, I didn't mean it like that. Oops, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe too much in if you're going to apologize if you don't do it. If you don't mean it, why are you apologizing? You know what I mean? But this was classless. It lacked decorum. It lacked decorum. When somebody dies, you respect them. It's just something, it's inherent in cultures throughout the entire world. You can't say, oh, it's a religion thing, or no. It's through multiple cultures throughout the world. Now, if they were inherently evil, like, I don't know, Adolf Hitler, that's different. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the evil atrocities that he performed and dedicated his life to do while he was living. But for something like this, you don't disrespect the guy that's passed away. You show them the respect. And everybody that's going to say, well, I don't see a problem with it, would you care if that was your kid? People have to put themselves in other people's shoes sometimes. That's why I mean decorum. When I was growing up, a lot of times, you wouldn't do certain things because you know that it would hurt. Like, if you saw somebody that's ugly, let's just say they're ugly through your lens, your perception. You're like, they're not attractive. That doesn't give you the right to just go up, hey, you ugly, right? Unless you're in like a joke circle. You remember it back in high school and stuff. You be in a joke circle, anybody could get it, right? But it doesn't give you the right to be like, oh, you're ugly. So you're ugly, right? No, you have decorum. You just don't say anything that comes to mind because it's called having class. You know where I'm coming from? That class and decorum has been lost on social media and media as a whole, and it keeps getting more and more toxic. They keep ramping that volume up, and it's not taking any steps back. Listen, I'm gonna read you a part of what this guy put down. I'm gonna read it. It says his name's Schlazer on Twitter, and I'm gonna show you how it was a stupid topic for one, but I'm gonna show you how badly researched it is on top of it. It reads, I'm going to read you, it says, everyone's talking about Dwayne Haskins with this overlay, but can we talk about how lazy and under-researched the entirety of this segment is? Blake Bortles is retired. Paxton Lynch, EJ Manuel, and Johnny Manziel are out of the league. Marcus Mariota, Josh Rosen, Carson Wentz are free agents. Kenny Pickett was a rookie last year. The overlay itself is misspelled. And Dwayne Haskins is literally the icing on the cake of this segment being horrible. These are all QBs drafted in the first round on a simple pro football reference search. So somebody did their job poorly and without taste and without tact. And we're lacking those things. We're lacking those things. You know, RIP to the Haskins family. Could you imagine seeing your child reach their dreams? Make it to be a professional athlete, a quarterback, nonetheless. vying for a starting position in the NFL to have their life taken, and then to have people bring up, you remember when he had passed away and what's his name? It had a very tactless, he was cut and only had a winning percentage of such and such. Who cares about that at that time? Absolutely tactless. And for anybody saying, and listen, I know there's going to be people that see this because, it's YouTube and it's open for anybody's viewership. It's the same problem I had when Kobe Bryant had passed away. And they brought back up old transgressions that had happened earlier in his life. And they were doing it and bringing it up when he passed away, and they had it on repeat. And other people weren't getting that same energy, like the Ben Roethlisbergers or even the Peyton Manning. It makes you think a lot. It really does. But if you're watching this, Colin Cowherd, tact, class, decorum, get some quickly, please. And if you don't get none, that's for you. Black hand side. Yeah. You lucky I don't got a hat and just throw it up and let that just finish the movement. Because we all need a little bit more of that now moving forward, especially with the way media is moving. It's too toxic out here. It's way too toxic. It needs to get filtered. And that goes for y'all, and it goes for myself also. And that's another episode of The Wunderkind Show! Thank you for watching. You know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You know I love the comments. And check out The Wunderkind's Patreon. That is up 3 tiers, available, extra content, access to the Discord, especially for this upcoming year. So much stuff's going to be going on. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm telling you, it's an amazing deal. And also, if you want to donate to the channel, that helps with the equipment and extra stuff. Bottom of the screen on this side's a QR code. QR code to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Easy. But once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. This show is Nitro signing off. And as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. You're